Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Gather round, the magic's on the way. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Hear them all, let the rules lead the way. Shuffle your deck, mount your steed. Rune CCG and Black Sam races guaranteed. Battles fierce with strategy and might. Every challenge, our wizards shine so bright. And as the day unfolds, on adventures we embark. With every spell we cast, we leave a mark. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Gather round, the magic's underway. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Feel Lord, the runes lead the way. Reading from the book of lore, our voices rise in song. Cult Content Chronicles, where honest hearts belong. This is our anthem for the magic we found. In Wizard Wednesday's call, our hearts are bound. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Gather round, the magic's underway. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Feel Lord, the rules lead the way.
Happy Wizard Wednesday, everybody. It's channeling in from the Quantum Downs. This is Maple Dad with my illustrious co-host, Give a Hoot, joining me on this fine Wizard Wednesday. Give a Hoot, how you doing today?
What's up, Jim? Happy Wizard Wednesday.
Indeed, indeed. This is yet another edition of the Cult Community Wizard Wednesday, where we dive into amazing things going on in the community, coming out of the DAO, side projects, fun projects, community projects, and all things Runiverse. So thanks everybody for tuning in and taking a little time out of your Wednesday to join us here. Today we're going to talk trading cards. We're going to talk about cards because that's something that is very in my life, and it's something it's actually the reason Give a Hoot and I met as friends way back in New York City. That was a fun trip to New York, buddy. That was a really fun time.
Oh, that was the best. I'm not sure there will be a event quite like that NFT NYC. The vibes were literally immaculate, and got to meet so many people in the cult that are still here today, and had some Web3 in general just had some memories that made some memories they'll never forget. So great time.
For those who weren't there, NFT NYC happened in the summer of 2022, and there was not only a gathering of wizards, but also every NFT project that you can think of had some kind of party going on. And we had just an outstanding showing, and it was super fun traveling the city. But Give a Hoot and I sat down to talk about trading cards because my day job is that I host Magic the Gathering tournaments. Give a Hoot, do me a favor, just mute baby life while you're. I can hear like the baby spoon scraping the bottom of the mashed peas bowl.
I'm chopping some potatoes for dinner, so that's what's going on.
Nice. Okay, I was close. Yeah, that's how we do it. But yeah, so I host Magic the Gathering tournaments for my day job, and I find that cards and storytelling through the medium of cards is just such a special way to connect with people, because it allows you to build stories while you're playing, right? And so you get to play and tell stories at the same time, which I just think is build some of the most powerful narratives, the most powerful stories, the most powerful memories you can. Give a hoot. Tell me a little bit about Rune's TCG. Where did it come? What is it? Where did it come from? And what does it mean to you?
Yeah, so great question. I'm also a lifelong, I don't own a company or anything like that, but I'm a lifelong card game player specifically. I mean, yeah, I had like, it was one of my friends' like birthdays, and he had like a Magic the Gathering birthday, and I bought like this like starter set that came with like a CD-ROM that let me play Magic the Gathering versus like an AI on the computer. I forget what set it was. But that, like, I literally played the AI for like just endless amounts of time, and it's the most basic version of the game with the most basic cards. But like, absolutely fell in love and been playing Magic the Gathering ever since. And so
Was that Chandelar? Was that was there sort of like a quest? Did you sort of like go adventuring through the world, sort of RPG
no,
style playing Magic?
it was like this promo edition, like it was like the starter set edition that came with a
Oh,
CD-ROM.
yes, yes,
It was like
yes.
there was like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
like it came with a promo card. It was a rocks, like a foil rocks, and it had like two decks. It was like a red deck and a blue deck, and like super duper basic. Or no, a red deck and a white deck or something, or blue. I don't know. It was super basic. But yeah. Anyway, that's what kind of, that's like, that was my first like Magic the Gathering like friend player. But then, like, over time, my like friend group, we just played hours and hours and hours and hours in like my friends' basements and stuff. Super casual. I didn't know anything about metas until I really got in, like, until I moved to like, um started playing with some other people, got like, went to a tournament or two, and then played like went to some Friday Night Magics like in like the city that I ended up living in. So anyway, lifelong card game player, also lifelong video game player, and it's always been a dream to make a game. Right? Like, I feel like every person who plays games dreams of making a game, because I think we all, like, everyone who plays a game has profound experiences playing games. Like, wants to make a game that other people have profound experiences playing, just like, and just having fun playing, because it's like, I don't know, you want to a lot of you just want to create that experience for other people because it's just so much fun. And so anyway, lifelong person who wanted to make a game, and then, um, but never really did. My friends and I had like come up with games of ourselves in basements and stuff, but nothing ever that really was worth turning into anything. And then yeah, I found Forgotten Runes, and the one thing that I like that hit me immediately was like, this IP is incredible, and like, this IP would be such a fantastic, like, it would be like, like, the IP is solved. It would be so much fun to layer this on top of a game, and like, and make it, and make mechanics. And so, um, I came up with Rune CCG, which is derived from other games that I've played. So, but again, it's like, you can't necessarily copyright game mechanics. What's really important is the IP. And so, like, I kind of like gathered some past experiences of games that I've played, and just kind of started to get to work. And then, thankfully, the Forgotten we had spun up the House of Wizards DAO. So Rune CCG made a proposal for some funds that, specifically just to commission art, and so got some ETH from the DAO to commission the first core set of cards, and kind of off to the races since then.
The thing that stands out to me about this story is that you had a base idea and you were inspired by others, and then you came to Forgotten Runes and you used that inspiration you had from other games, you married it with the inspiration that you got from the Forgotten Runes community and the Forgotten Runes IP, and you built it into something truly outstanding. So I'll do the sales pitch for Runes TCG, because I don't think you're gonna hype it up enough, because you're too humble. But Runes TCG is actually the greatest Web3 trading card game, period. It is so good because it is incredibly simple. Anyone can learn to play in a few minutes, and yet the strategy goes really deep, and people who have a lot of experience will win most of the time. And so it's a really beautiful harmony between simplicity with also that layer of complexity that makes really excellent games of all types stand out. And it's a really the thing that amazes me about it is that you made it free to play, anybody can just log on, set up a really quick MetaMask or Rabby account wallet, and with a few cents of poly for gas, can be minting cards for free to play. And I just really fell in love with your ethos of people being able to participate for $0 was the thing that made the most. That was like one of your guiding principles. And so everyone can sign up to play and get some cards and battle it out. So
yeah,
thank you so much for building it, because it's the best.
I mean, you're definitely you're definitely one of Rune's biggest fans, but I appreciate it. And like, and you hit on some things that really did matter, and like, we're very, very intentional. I mean, like, the free to play aspect, it's kind of funny. Like, I kind of took, so, I'm a lifelong video game player, and the game that I drew most inspiration from, like, it's like when you start off, how do I say this? Like, there's someone in the game that gives you free cards. Like, hey, you want to get started? Here's some free cards. And I was like, I just want to do that, right? Like, I want to give everyone the ability to play this game, and and understand it, get the feel of it, get the vibe. And if you enjoy it, like, that's great. You don't have to buy any more cards. If you do, then go for it, right? It's like, and I feel like one of the things that, like, to me, is actually something that Web3 games are going to struggle with a little bit, is how do you onboard users in a way that, like, works with tokenomics, right? Because, like, it's tough to, like, a lot of the Web2 games that exist now, like Hearthstone, Pokemon Pocket, like all these things, like, they have, like, even parallel, right? Like, even like parallel, none of the games that you earn in the game, like, none of the cards you earn in game can be converted to NFT. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the case, because, like, you can't just continue to inflate token supply, like, because you sell cards that are, like, limited supply, unless out from the get go you're like, you know what, these are going to be infinite. And so that's kind of how I approached the beginner set, which is like, literally, these are going to, like, literally everybody in the planet can have these cards, and, like, that's the point of it. The point is just to kind of onboard users, and then from there we can go. But yeah, no, I wanted to just give people a way to get involved.
I love that. And I think that's been so meaningful. So for those who haven't yet, head over to the Runes TCG Discord. The easiest way to find that is by checking out the Runes TCG Twitter account. I know you know where Twitter is because you're already on it. And so head to the Runes TCG Twitter account, find your way to the Discord, and then post your ETH or your Polygon address that you would like an airdrop to. This is going to be an airdrop show, and we are going to give one special edition alternate art treasure trove card to everyone who pops their Polygon address in that Runes TCG Discord. Given who doesn't know that I'm doing this,
I did not know.
deciding
This is
that
awesome.
this is how we're going to do it.
This is great.
So if you're living into Wizard Wednesday, head to the general chat in the Runes Discord and share your wallet address there. We will airdrop you one of the exclusive Ozma Bro artworks that he did as part of the Treasure Trove project. So,
actually,
free stuff for everybody.
So Oz also did the art for all of the beginners cards that everyone can mint for free. And what's kind of funny is, like, the other way I approached the free cards was, like, first of all, Oz is an amazing artist. I think everyone in this spaces right now knows that Oz is an amazing artist. And what I was thinking, like, the way I approached it too, is like, people can mint these free cards, and I'm like, I don't care if people mint the cards and never play the game. Guess what? Now you have amazing art in your wallet, right? Like, it's just, and that's, like, hitting on, like, part of Runes is the gameplay and the fun, and the other part, which you touched on a little bit, is, like, just the art and the lore. I also think that cards are an amazing storytelling medium. The way I kind of approach, like, I think trading cards are uniquely a amazing, like, way to tell a story, because they're, like, compact data points that people can digest instantaneously. Like, you look at a card and you kind of see the whole picture, not the whole picture, but a version of it, right? Like, trading cards have a few things, right? There's a name, there's an image, there's either an ability to the card and or flavor text. And I feel like you look at that, and it's like this compact way of delivering information to you, and it's like key elements where it's like, give something a name, put an image to it, and then, like, a small description, and all of a sudden you have, like, three really crucial parts of the whole picture of, like, what something is. And so, like, I think that yeah, trading cards are just like trading cards and runes. I mean, and Forgotten Runes fit really well together because first of all, we're telling stories, right? We're building out characters, and then you know, the book of lore is amazing, but sometimes, right, it's like it's a lot of text. Like, you know, it's like it's one way to tell a story. Trading cards are a great complement because it's like just bite-sized skittles, right? You can just like look at all these trading cards, and all of a sudden you've like just downloaded so much information into your brain really efficiently.
And it's the beginning of something too. A trading card tells you something about this character, but it doesn't tell you their whole story, but it gives you enough to get you curious, you know.
Totally.
So I'm a huge fan. Totally agree. Love it. I know you've got to hit the road pretty soon here because you're on daddy daycare time pretty shortly. But tell me about the latest developments in Rune's TCG. I think we're in the finals of the Treasure Trove tournament. We are. Yes, we're in the finals. Very exciting. So I guess I'll tell you that. We're in the finals of the Treasure Trove tournament.
That's your update.
Okay, now tell me about your update. What's new and exciting for Rune's TCG this week?
Yeah, we released the first major mechanic update to the game since conception with the potency mechanic, or since the core set with the potency mechanic is the 4x4 grid. So so if anyone hasn't played Runes, Runes very quickly is played on a 3x3 grid. Imagine a tic-tac-toe grid, and people and players take turns placing cards on the grid. And when a card is placed, you kind of compare stats against other cards on the board. And at the end of the game, whoever controls the most cards wins. And so ever since I've made it, like 3x3, it's great. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick. Like that was like totally the intention of the game, is like it's almost mini game esque, right? Not mini game esque in terms of the strategy because it actually is quite deep, but like it's like super jet. It's like just like play a quick game, have some fun, low stakes. You're not sitting there for hours. You're not sitting there for even 20 minutes. Like you're just playing a quick game. But I'm like, but the game, it's so quick. It is so quick. Like, and so how do I kind of like turn this game into something that can have a little more depth, have a little bit more strategy, and then also open the game up for even more mechanic additions in the future. I felt like the 3x3 grid was a little bit restrictive in that, where the games are so quick and there are only 9 moves in a game that like you can't really do a ton there. I was like, what if I just make the board a little bigger? And so turned so added like another row and column. So now there's 16 tiles, and so it means there's 16 turns, and we can do a lot more with that. I also added a draw mechanic. So in the 3x3 version, you go into the game with your full 5 card hand, but in the 4x4 version, you have a deck of 15 cards, and you start off with 3, and you draw a card each turn, which like adds a deck building element, a little bit of RNG, and just kind of adds so much depth to the game. So yeah, it's fully playable right now. Just going to runestcg.com, runes-tcg.com. You know, you have to build a 15-card deck. And you still need to improve a bit of the UI around this. My UI is not my forte, so the front end is a little bit jank for lack of a better word, but it works. And yeah, go play. You have to build a 15-card deck, and then and yeah, it's fully playable. If anyone experiences any bugs or anything, please let me know in the Discord. I'm trying to fix those as quick as possible. But yeah, so far everyone's loved it. Everyone has like really enjoyed it. I think it plays really naturally, and everyone's used to deck building games with draws, and I think that really people really appreciate kind of the added depth that comes with that.
Buddy, I love this so much because it goes back to where this all began, where it started with a spark that was inspired by another game you'd played, and you've taken that, you've ran with it, and you've built it into more, and that's just so magical. And I feel like that's like almost a metaphor for the community of Forgotten Runes builders. And that's what makes me so excited about this project at large, is there's so many people like you who drew some inspiration from something and turned it into something powerful. So right on. I can't wait. I'm ashamed to admit I actually haven't yet tried a 4x4 game. I'm really gonna have to do that. And one of the reasons I'm gonna have to do that is because your Rune CCG games help you earn extra points in your Black Sand races. You can use the train mechanic from the Black Sand races, another beloved Forgotten Runes community project, to gain even more adventure. So, and to speed up your pony, sneaking ahead. And the Black Sand races are a really fun sort of project, and to see the integrations, people working together, building alongside one another, is just so fun, so fun. It makes decentralized world building really happen here. Any final words for our friends before you got to bounce?
Yeah. Well, two things. The Black Sands team with Bill and Legatus are awesome. I think the fact that we even have an integration is also really like kind of just like tells the stories of Forgotten Runes, where like we're starting to build this interconnected web, right? Like interconnected web of lore, interconnected web of projects and tech and products and stuff like that. So, you know, and then with your community like treasure trove, right? Like that's even more interconnectedness that includes things like Rune CCG cards in it. And so it's like, so yeah, just this web that continues to kind of get thicker and stronger is definitely on theme. And then actually, I think you have played 4x4 because if I remember correctly, you like with the basic 12 set of cards were playing 4x4 runes with your kids, and you were coming up with mechanics like, you know, a year and a half ago. So I think you have played a little 4x4.
Yeah, I've played paper 4x4, but I had like before it was even a thing. Me and my sister were playing 4x4 just for shits and giggles. But yeah, so but I have yet to play it in the actual client.
Yeah, so, no, I just want to say, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely someone who I know I can always bounce ideas off of and get inspiration from. So as you mentioned, you know, a lot of Rune's TCG comes down to being inspired by the community, and you are definitely part of that inspiration. So yeah, appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you asking me some questions about Runes, and just yeah, cannot wait to keep building it with everyone here.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for jumping on and joining me here. The call to action for everybody is if you're listening to this, jump on into the Runes TCG Discord, drop your address there so I can send you a free silver treasure trove card, and be inspired by one another. Be inspired by your wizard friends and build something awesome, because that's what we're here for. Build cool stuff and share it with one another. So adios, cooking dinner and hanging out with your baby, and we will catch up again soon, my friend.
All right, later people. Later, Cole. Peace.
Well, that was a bang start to a show. Big fan. One thing I was hoping to do is take us back to that Black Sand races. And the Black Sand races is something that started a couple of years ago. This is another fantastic community project. And I thought there's probably a lot of folks who hang out, have played Black Sand races even maybe, or have heard about it and don't know the story. And Legatus wrote a great sort of story of the Wikipedia, almost the book of lore. And this is the story of Black Sand. So I'll start back at the beginning because it's just so good. This has to work, Azazel thought. Black Sand needs it. Black Sand deserves it. It had been several years since Azazel had been commissioned by the Order of the Historians to do something, anything about the city that once was. Yet nothing had worked. His efforts to attract farmers or merchants had all been futile. Investors could not be convinced to fund new infrastructure, and no citizens from nearby cities could be persuaded to move. It was all just extremely infuriating. Azazel was a historian, a shaman of the arts. His love for the history of Black Sand had pushed him to work day and night to try to bring back the glory of his former city. For Black Sand used to be one of the most glorious, the rich, the lavish cities the Runiverse had ever known, at a time when it wasn't yet known as Black Sand, at a time when it was known as Imperium. Located between the Salt Sea and the Mountains of Light, Imperium had been a flourishing hub of trade and culture. Merchants brought their precious goods to the Imperium port from lands far and wide. Scholars would travel to the city keep to study ideas, philosophies, and pilgrims would journey to submit their offerings to the temple of the true gods. Wizards would convene at the Obsidian Tower to share their powerful magic and technological innovations. And art and music, the spark of this melting pot of cultures, colliding in what felt like the pulsating heart of the entire Runiverse. But it all came to an abrupt end. Azazel's eyes swelled and watered every time he reminisced on that tragic day. You see, Imperium lay at the bottom of Sina, the largest sleeping volcano in the Runiverse. Rich with resources, Sina had been instrumental into the success of the city, but also very quickly became the cause of its downfall. For one night, while Imperium quietly rested, Sina suddenly erupted. Lava streamed down from its peaks, flooding, burning, and destroying everything in its path, right down to the salt shore. No written reports remain of that night, but the few stories that survive to speak of the inhumane screams of horror and pain of the citizens succumbed to the unstoppable wrath of Sina. For months, walls of fire and smoke would rise from the incinerated lands, making it impossible for anyone to aid the city. In disbelief, wizards from all the lands tried to salvage the possible, conjuring their magic and deploying their technology, but nothing worked. Nature had willed the end of Imperium, and Sina had carried out the task. Years later, Sina's rage finally stopped. Left was only black sand running all the way from the mountain to the seashores. Dusty, barren lands that would be impossible to farm. Land that would bear no harvest, nor feed no cattle. Nothing left to remind the world of the glorious days of Imperium. Merchants stopped trading, scholars migrated elsewhere, and pilgrims sought out their gods in other far-off lands. And the wizards left. Imperium slowly vanished from the world map, leaving behind only its black sand. Da, da, da. That there is how the black sand began. And the races that we now participate in are sort of the next idea of a way to bring life and vigor back to black sand. And I think we can all agree, as people who participate in the project, that black sand is now one of the most iconic places in the Runiverse. So I'm going to hazard a guess that Azazel would be pleased with how we've turned it around. Well, we've talked cards, we've talked community projects, and I think that means it is time for the weekly Cult Content Chronicle compiled by the illustrious Tanya Del Rio. I am exceedingly excited every damn week. Oh man, I'm doing it myself and I still screwed it up? Son of a gun. All right, well, fair enough. Every damn week. This is week 106 of the Cult Content Chronicle. And it is no slouch. Every week in the Cult Content Chronicle is a banger. Starting off at number 1, we have an amazing piece by Marco Fine. This we saw a little glimpse of. He had just the black and white done last week, and oh my lord, this looks phenomenal. Speaking of characters, I need to see on a trading card. Holy smokes. So if you're following along, what a piece. Speaking of following along, let me share a little. Let me share a little. There we go. We have, yeah, this is just outstanding. Loxodontas, amazing. Number 2, Non-Alcohol created a wonderful piece of lore incorporating wizard 3D models and shared a story about Dota, which is really cool. So I'm not actually sure exactly what this piece is. I'm going to have to dig deeper into it because this looks really cool. It looks like it uses the 3D models and then it collaborates and it's actually using them to tell stories. I saw like the storyboard sort of going for this earlier and it looked really cool. So definitely something to check out. Another amazing piece from him. And not to harp on it too much, but Non-Alcohol, I believe, has screamed out of nowhere to top the leaderboards of the Feckless Pumpkin Hunt game. So if you go to feckless.toys, you can see how Non-Alcohol has completely kicked me off the leaderboard. I'm not even on the top 10 anymore. It's miserable. I'm gonna have to get back in there and reclaim my seat. Number 3, Sharon. Sharon continues extensive world building. The Emerald Forest just keeps growing and growing and growing. For those who don't know, the Emerald Forest is this amazing spot in the Runiverse that Sharon has willed into existence. And you've really got to check it out to understand just how fantastic a project this has been. And I think the beauty of it shows the simplicity of, given the power of the tools that exist today, the AI tools, it really is a lot easier than it once was to bring your own ideas to life. Sharon had this sort of vision of what she wants the Emerald Forest to be, and she's brought it to life fully. So go check out the entire Emerald Forest, not just this post, but the whole Emerald Forest Wikipedia page has a ton of amazing stuff, and some of Sharon's characters, who are some of the most lored out characters in the entire universe. Go check that out and soak up a little Emerald Forest goodness. Number 4, our good buddy Wizard Smalls. Wizard Smalls reminds us that holding your souls is, if you have a soul, you can claim your small soul. And gas is cheap, so this won't even cost you a whole lot in gas. So if you own a soul and you didn't know, you've got a free airdrop waiting for you, assuming you're the first person who's a soul, the holder of that soul, to go mint. So go check that out because free stuff is fun and the smalls are adorable. I just love the juxtaposition of, like he didn't choose like I was thinking like, oh, we're gonna make small cute things, like maybe he'll pick like the companions or the familiars to make cute versions of. Like, no, let's take the undead, let's make a whole collection of tiny adorable undead characters. I love it. Wizard Small, however, oh boy, this is getting me excited. He is busting into the next possible Smalls. Now, I don't know if this is a one-off. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he has smalled up his warrior and welcome Xavier, Sword of Honor, small edition. Fantastic little piece. And look at that cheetah. That cheetah is like 35 pixels total, and it's freaking adorable. Number 6, Daniela Illustra. The ever prolific Daniela Illustra, continuing on her comic. Daniela's work is just one for the ages. I'm literally wearing Daniela artwork right now, with the cult hoodie, the Join the Cult hoodie that was in the treasure trove. So shout out to everybody wearing their Daniela artwork, but the story marches on. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. It is going to be such a beautiful piece when it's finished. After that, number 7, we have Jez. Oh dear, Jezberart. I'm throwing them a follow right now. Shared this community commission that they got done by David Azul, and this is fun because it's a slightly different David Azul style. Oh, I see. No, I've got it wrong. She did the art for David Azul. Well, that's fun. That's really awesome. I love this piece. She's got the boar. It's a warrior with a boar. Big fan. Big fan. Lots of sparkles. Very light. Very fun. And oh, and I jumped ahead. I jumped way far ahead by accident. That's fine. Number 7, that was number 11. Number 7 is actually it's really show generated some super fun art along with some amazing lore. So if you want to give that a read, quick and dirty lore. I've been a big proponent of it. It's better to have something quick and dirty that might not be, don't worry about sending it to 6 different editors. Don't worry about that. Use AI to help get you started if you can, if you need to. Not each of us is the most wordsmithy, but if you've got an idea, all you need is an idea to create amazing lore for your character, and use the tools that are available to help bring it to life. And so I love seeing show.eth getting this done, getting some more lore in the book and on tweeters. And number 8, Bread Friends Daily Adventures continue. It is Bread Venture Day number 28. Bread Friend is hanging out with some Magic the Gathering booster packs. We went to this past weekend was the big regional championship Magic the Gathering tournament here in Canada that I was hosting. And at the end of Sunday night, we run the whole regional championships, and then we have to pack everything up, and we're loading skids and wrapping them and getting everything ready to ship off. So I always take my whole team, anyone who's still with me at the end of the night on Sunday night, who hasn't collapsed from exhaustion after 4 days of blitz. I take them all out for dinner. So we went to the local diner in Ottawa, really awesome sort of 24-hour diner, and we ate a bunch of really greasy diner food and cracked a bunch of magic packs for funsies. Number nine, Magic Monday News is having Bill Gaines stepped up as the co-host, which is great, and Fabula swung by. Fabula was our guest last week on Wizard Wednesday, and Fabula joined on Monday for Magic Monday News. I'm very much looking forward to listening to the recording of this myself because I haven't had a chance yet. So dive into that. And again, back to how it's all connected. We had the Magic Monday News team broadcast from the metaphorical Obsidian Tower, which is a spot from within Black Sand. So it's just all connected. Number 96, episode number 96, which is pretty special. So we're gonna have to do a month from now. We're gonna have to do something pretty special for these boys. It'll be episode 100 coming up soon. Pretty exciting. Number 10. Remember to join Community-Led Wizard Wednesday right here, right now. Me and Give a Hoot had some fun. So that's just that piece. And then we did have this amazing piece that I already went through for David Azul every damn week. For those who didn't see, also there is a call. Jump on the Magic Machine Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult Twitter. Had this really fun little 3D graphic of the trade paperback. And I'm gonna say, if you enjoy comics, and even if you don't enjoy comics, you should get yourself a copy of this. It is available on major online retailers like Walmart and Amazon and stuff like that. But I really do encourage you to, just open up Google Maps and Google comic book store and find a comic book store that's close to you. And then pick up the phone. Be old-fashioned, pick up the phone, give them a call, and tell them that this is a book you're excited about having on the shelves and you'd like to buy a copy or a couple of copies if you can afford it. And what that's going to do is, when an order goes through Amazon or Walmart, somebody or some robot picks up a copy off the shelf, puts it in a bag, and mails it to you, and then you get to enjoy it, which is great. But when you call your local comic store and get them to order it for you, you might pay maybe $2, $4 more than the cheapest price you can find online. But you are going to get an opportunity to share the cult with somebody new. And you're going to get an opportunity to put a copy in the hands of a comic book store owner. Comic book store owners have incredible power to share ideas, share IPs, and share stories. And so when you order a copy, my suggestion would be to order 2 and just give one to the comic store owner and say, hey, give this a read. I bought this for you. And they're going to be like, wait, but no, you bought it from me. And you say, yeah, I bought it to give back to you because I want you to read it and appreciate it. And if you enjoy it, order some more and share it because I want to see this comic do well. I'll often share the story. I don't sell comics at my game store, but we sell board games. And when me or one of the other staff, one of the assistant managers or whatever, falls in love with a board game and we teach the other staff how to play it, that new title will just sort of dominate our sales for the next several months because people will come in asking for a recommendation, and we'll say, oh, you got to get this. It's the best. It's so much fun. And so we'll see a huge uptick in sales. And I've actually had publishers reach out to me and be like, what is going on? Why do you order so much of our game? Well, the exact same thing happens in the comic industry where folks get, they fall in love with something and then nerds come in and ask their comic book store owner for a suggestion. And, if you can get that person on board, that person can be an unbelievable salesman. So with that being said, Black Sand races continue on. Head on over to Black Sand in the Discord. Don't forget to swing by the Rune CCG Discord to claim your free treasure trove card, because everyone loves free stuff. And we are gearing up. It'll be yet another exciting week in the Runiverse. So this is Meeple Dad and Give a Hoot signing off. And thanks again for tuning in for another Cult Content Wizard Wednesday.
This new Pangaea where we abide, our journeys etched in forgotten runes, guided by the light of distant moons. Ride those mecha ponies through the steampunk fields and past the old cronies, with a wizard's wand and a warrior's might. We're chasing the dawn, riding into the night. So here's to the legends, the stories untold in the vast Runiverse, where future and past unfold. Riding our mecha ponies under the cosmic light, singing our songs, lost in the endless night. Ride item right